Hi, welcome to Camp Happy Meal. So I thought I was done making Christmas cards. And then my friend Julia posted this lovely paper on her Facebook page. And I decided that maybe I wasn't done making Christmas cards. So Julia, she's on YouTube. Her channel is Senior Susie Stamps. There is both a link to her YouTube channel and also to her Facebook page where she posted this for anybody that wants to download it. So anyways, she's in the process of moving into a new studio. It's going to be gorgeous. She's showed us a couple of sneak peeks at this point, and it is it's amazing. But in the midst of packing, she decided she needed a break, and she designed this paper in Canva, and she graciously shared it to her Facebook page, free of charge. Anybody that wants it can download, can use it. So I couldn't resist because I love poinsettias, especially red ones. And I decided I needed to make something with this. So I thought initially that I would just make 4 cards, splitting this up into 4 different cards. And then I got to thinking that maybe I would like to have this a little bit smaller and do 4 cards with a smaller print. So I, first, I went back to her link to download it, and I made a print of it, and then I started messing with it, only to realize that the link that was posted actually went to the actual file. And in about 15 minutes time, I totally destroyed her pattern paper. Yeah, so I quickly tried to put it back together based upon this print. I didn't get it quite right. I sent her an email and let her know that I thought I might have messed up her print. She went and checked it. Indeed, I did screw up her print. I'm so sorry, Julia. But no worries, because Julia is smart and she had the original file. So she reposted the link, and it's one that you can't edit. And now that's what's available, and that's what the link is. It's in my description. So anyways, so this is back to the original. And I did print 2 of these. I was testing different paper. This one is on presentation paper, and this one is on soft gloss photo paper. I don't know if I'll use this one or not. We'll see. And so then I took that original print and I put it into Photoshop. Love, love, love Photoshop. And I reduced it down, and I put 4 of these on one sheet and came up with this. And I thought, well, great. There's an easy 4 cards just like that. But then my mind was going, and I had other ideas that these aren't going to just be straight cards. Some of them will, some of them won't. So I printed 2 sheets of that. And then I thought it might be fun to reduce it down even further. How small can we get this? So I ended up with this. And now I have 16 tags. So today's video, we're not going to make all these cards. I'm going to make probably a card from this, a card from this size, and then we'll do a couple of tags. And the rest of these I'll just make on my own because it'll be very similar and I don't need to bore you with that. So anyways, so to go along with this, I went through my stash. These are sentiments that I have left over from the cards that I made this year. So maybe we'll be able to use some of these. I did die cut some pieces, like some center pieces to go on some of these just to make quick, easy cards, and they're all different shapes. And then I have some straight panels that we might use, we might not. And then I pulled out some die cuts that I had done earlier this year for Christmas cards, and these are poinsettia pieces. And then I also have some dies, just some frames and some tags, and I have an embossing folder that makes the paper look like it's linen. So I think that's basically what we're going to use. So I'm going to go ahead and chop up these pieces, and then we'll get started. Oh, and one more thing to note. If you download her piece that she originally did, the large one, which is this one. This is the size that it comes in. I had made these sizes without asking Julia for permission to do it. And I did turn these files over to her. I am not releasing this size or the tags because that wouldn't be right to Julia. So I will totally leave it up to Julia that if she wants to release these on her Facebook page, she is more than welcome to do that because it is her design. I just simply made them other sizes. And I did get her permission to make a video with these. So on that note, let me get these chopped apart and then we'll get started. So I changed my mind a little bit on what I was going to do with this. I needed to make 10 cards total. So I used the one sheet of this that I cut into 4, and I have 2 pieces of that left. And then I still have this one that was printed out on the soft gloss paper. I'm going to save these. And then the ones that I had printed out that there was 4 of the full sheet reduced down. I had 2 sheets of those. And I did use all of those. And then I was going to make some tags. But then we changed our mind about what we're doing with our gifts this year, and I'm not going to need tags. So I am going to put these with this, and I'm going to save these for next year. So the cards that we have to make, I did make 7 of them already just to save us some time. But I saved 3 of them to make with you. And that's what we're going to do. And I don't know what, I think it came out of there. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and, per usual, I kitted these. I think we'll start with that one. That's probably the easiest one. So just to make it go a little bit faster, I kitted them. I pre-cut all the pieces. I picked out the sentiment. The sentiment is coming from a set called Winter Garden Sentiments. This is a Spellbinder set. And the sentiment that we're going to use is, "It is Christmas in the heart that puts Christmas in the air." And it's a quote by W.T. Ellis. So let's go ahead and get started with this. Now, I always love whenever I come across pretty papers like these that Julia created, because they inspire me and they make me just want to go and create more cards, even though I may not need more cards. But in this case, I needed a few extra. But even if I hadn't needed more cards, I was going to print this and put it in my stash to use for next year. And a lot of times I'll do that. If I see a digital print that I like, and if it inspires me, then I'll pull it and I'll put it in a folder. And then periodically I'll go through that folder and I'll print out ones that inspired me previously. And then I'll make some cards with it. Digital prints are a wonderful thing. Now, I've been experimenting a little bit with what kind of paper to print them on, and I have an Epson printer. It's mainly made for photos. I don't print many photos anymore because I don't scrapbook very much anymore. So if I use presentation paper on it, which is a thicker paper, they seem to print much nicer than if I print on regular copy paper. This is just standard run-of-the-mill cheap copy paper, and you can see the difference in a big way. The soft photo paper, soft gloss photo paper, is also very nice. So if you want a glossy finish to your cards, then you can do that. And I am going to make something out of this, but just probably not this year. Okay, so then we'll go ahead and glue this piece down. There's a website that I subscribe to that I use for both personal and for work. It is a pay site. You have to pay for the subscription for it, but I use it a ton. And they have all kinds of backgrounds and graphics and things. And they also have photo stock art. And a lot of times if I'm looking for something specific that's a print that I can't find elsewhere, I'll often go to this website and I'll type in some keywords like, I'm going to be looking for Valentine's Day paper. So I'll type in Valentine's Day backgrounds or Valentine's Day theme. And then I can choose vector or I can choose a photo. And then it will give me all kinds of designs. And all the designs come from other people that have created them and uploaded them. I can't share any of that stuff that I might be creating within the future as far as being able to offer you the files because the licensing doesn't allow me to reshare it like that. It's personal use only. And because I don't sell the cards that I make with that stuff, it's okay for me to use it for cards. I just can't offer it up. Now, I am planning to, at some point, sit down and try my hand at designing some papers like this. Julia uses Canva, and I'm starting to learn Canva a little bit. And I might try my hand at creating some, and if there are some that I do create, then I would be able to offer those up like Julia offers hers up. But for now, I highly recommend that you go to the description beneath this video and look up her YouTube channel for one, and then also her Facebook group. Her Facebook group is pretty awesome. She posts stuff pretty often on it, and you also get access to things like her digital papers. And she just put another one up there yesterday, which was a winter scene with a bear that's absolutely beautiful. I'm probably not going to create anything on video with that one, but maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, we're going to use this beautiful paper by her. And I miscut this one, so we need to trim this a little bit. Okay, now we need to put the sentiment on here, so let me grab the Misti. So the poinsettia, I would like it to go down here in the corner. Kind of like that. And our sentiment will probably go right here. The sentiment is a little small for on this, but that's okay. We'll take up the space with the poinsettia. Okay, I think that'll work just like that. I'm going to stamp this with Altenew's Obsidian Black Pigment ink. You can use whatever ink you have. It doesn't have to be this one. My paper is a little bit textured, so I may have to stamp this 2 or 3 times to get it to completely cover it well. I wasn't thinking whenever I cut the paper for these that I grabbed some old basil textured paper. It's orange peel texture. Anybody remember basil paper? I used to love their paper, and I have a whole bunch of it from scrapbooking, and I'm slowly starting to dig into it for card making. Okay, so that's our sentiment. And I think we're going to go ahead and pop up the poinsettia. That way we can glue some things underneath it. Poinsettia dies that I use is from Stampin' Up. It's a set from a couple years ago. It's retired now. It's called Poinsettia Dies, and then there was a stamp set that goes with this. If you can find this on eBay or on Etsy or online somewhere, I highly recommend it. It's never going to go out of style. Poinsettias is Christmas, and you'll be able to use this every year pretty much. And I've used it every year since I bought it. And I'm not sure how many years ago. I know it's been several years since I bought this. One of my most favorite sets by them. Anytime that I buy stamp sets, be it Stampin' Up or somebody else, I look at not only the quality, but I also look for longevity. I like to have things in my stash that I can use year after year after year and always make it look new. Like I said, I've been using this poinsettia set for several years now, and I just love it. It's a great little set. And with that, that's card number 1. One and done. So let's do card number 2. A couple more pieces to card number 2 than there were to card number 1. So with this one, I cut out a piece in the center that was this size. And then I cut that piece down further to make this size. So, and then I cut a piece of gold that would fit in the center of this one so that we could have a matting layer behind this one. So let's go ahead and tape these ones together. These big A2 size rectangles were cut using a Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle die set. It's a nested die set. The die set includes either the large set or the small set, but if you get both sets together, then you have the full range of nested sizes for an A2 size card. Probably one of the most used die sets in my collection. I just love the look of the stitched border. Okay, and then we'll take and glue this piece down. And this is a way to stretch your paper. Because I cut this center piece out of it, then filled that with a gold piece for the frame, then I was able to have the extra layer of the centerpiece of that pattern paper, and that allowed me to stretch the paper and not having to cut a whole separate sheet. I like to do this trick a lot. And I made sure to put this on here so that the pattern still lines up with the flowers and then these sprigs coming through the centers. And I think we're going to glue down the poinsettia on this one. But I'm going to go ahead and assemble the poinsettia first. I think, you know what, I think we'll go ahead and pop this one up as well, so I can get the things underneath it. And that is card number 2, and I need to trim this off up here a little bit. Okay, and with that we have card number 2. Just quick and easy. And let's do card number 3. For this one, I did something even a little bit different. I had a piece of paper that was, it was ink blended, and then I heat embossed over it, and it's been in my stash for years. So I decided to go ahead and use it on this card. So what we're going to do, and I thought I had cut a piece to go in the middle of this one. So let me do that real quick. The reason why you want to put a piece of paper in the middle of one that you cut in a frame like this is so that everything that you put on top of it won't sag on your card base. And I just simply forgot to cut the piece to fit in there. Nothing a little bit of quick cutting can't fix. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this taped in. And the reason why I wanted to cut the center out of that is so that I could use it on an outside layer. So let's go ahead and get this layer glued down, and you'll see what I mean when we get there. So I encourage you, if you have pieces that have been in your stash for years, get them out, put them in a bucket on your desk, and maybe you'll be inspired to use some of them. That's what I've been doing. I have a stack of them sitting here beside my desk. Anytime I'm creating anything, I look at the colors that I'm using, and then I go through my little stash of backgrounds, and I see if anything will work, and I just got glue all over me. Are we surprised? No, we're not surprised. But I go through my little stash of backgrounds and see if there's anything that'll work. And I thought that this would be pretty because of the gold and the deep reds. And it doesn't even matter that that frame is crooked in there because you're not going to see it. This paper of Julia's, once I printed it on the presentation paper, I did run it through a embossing folder by Stampin' Up that gives a subtle texture to it. It's like a linen texture. It makes it look like a piece of cloth. You can't see it on camera, but it is there in person, and it's beautiful. It just gives the paper a little something extra. Okay. Then we're going to glue the gold piece down. But back to what I was saying about the website that I use to get images and graphics and backgrounds and things from. If you don't have access to something like that, it's okay. Just go to Pinterest, and there's all kinds of free digital backgrounds and images and things that you can download. You just want to make sure to check for the licensing on them if you're planning on selling your stuff. I don't sell my cards very often, and if I am going to sell them, I make sure that everything I'm using on them is okay for me to sell them. I'm thinking we might make this a horizontal card. So let's go ahead and assemble the poinsettia. Actually, I think we're going to do it this way. Sometimes you just have to play around with the layouts a little bit to see which way you really want it to be. I didn't have a real plan for these when I cut them up. I just basically cut shapes that I knew would go together well. But I didn't use any sketches or anything like that on this set of cards. And I got a little bit of ink smudges on this one, so we're going to use our sand eraser. Just lightly erase those off. And that is card number 3. So let's take a look at all 10. that's our 10 cards. So I thank you for hanging out with me today while we created these cards from Julia's lovely paper. Again, I highly encourage you, please go to the description, look up Julia on YouTube. She's there as Senior Susie Stamps. And then look for her Facebook group. Her Facebook group is filled with a bunch of lovely people that follow her channel. And she offers up freebies like these pretty papers. You won't be disappointed in either her YouTube channel or her Facebook group. So that's what we got for today. So now it's time for you to go play. Get those cards done. Get your Christmas cards done. It's time to get them sent out. So I'll see you back here in the next video. Thanks.